Developments going on?
Matt, could you leave the room, please?
That's right. Matt needs to leave the room as a member of the Planning Commission. He cannot be here. Good thing you spotted that.
I was well coached. Okay, three major projects I'd like to talk about. The Ralph Mega Center. We had a hearing a few weeks ago, and before Tom Glick. For those of you who don't know much about it, it's 65,000 square feet of store and shops, and it is not in compliance with the Ventura Boulevard specific plan. The main difficulty is not only the massive size of the footprint, but also the height. The Ventura Boulevard plan allows 30 feet to the highest point on the building. It is 37 feet above the Ventura Boulevard elevation and 48 feet above the Moore Park elevation, so it's quite a bit higher than the plan allows. The size I mentioned, it's about 50% larger than any other market either in existence or planned for Sherman Oaks, and so it's quite a bit larger. We should emphasize that we all support a modernized and updated Ralph's. That's not what we're here to argue. It's just the size and scale of the project that is bothersome. Councilman Koretz has said that he was expecting a modified plan that met the Ventura Boulevard plan, but that has not appeared. His planning deputy supported the project at the recent hearing, saying that it met the intention of the plan. I'm reminded, for those of you who don't know what the plan says, it regulates the highest point of the building. If I'm the building, it regulates the height of the top of my hat. And what has happened is that the Ralph's has brought forward plans which lower the brim of my hat. The top of the hat stays in the same spot, so it doesn't meet the plan. I was telling Richard that if I got pulled over by a police officer for going 90 miles an hour on the freeway in a 65 zone, I probably wouldn't be successful in arguing that I met the intent of the law because I had not accelerated to 90 quite as quickly as I had intended to before. The second project is Villaggio Toscano. It too is a massive project, 500 condominiums just north of the Galleria. It also is not in compliance with the plan. It's 90 feet tall. The plan allows 75 in that area. 500,000 cubic yards of dirt and 3 stories of underground parking. We hope that Councilman Krikorian will take a position on this project. I don't believe he has yet. He has, however, pledged to uphold the plan as part of his campaign. The third project is a Vaughn's Market on the same lot as the existing one. It's larger than the older one. The market moves towards Ventura. Pavilion, sorry. Right at Kester. The front of the market is 33 feet above Ventura, which with the allotment for a discretionary 10% does meet the height requirement in the front. The back is a little higher, it's about 40 feet. This happens because there's a sloping lot, and they are going to dig the back down so that they can get a flat parking lot. We think that this is probably a good way to build a building. We would like to meet with them further to go over some of the details. We're right in the early stages of review on that particular project.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Yep. Bob Anderson, update.
Two things. One, if you're worried about, and you live in the hillsides, and you're worried about having one of these big mega mansions built next to you, we're getting a lot closer to have a new ordinance in the city of Los Angeles to limit the size that these can be. It got approved by the city council with a motion that strengthened it, added by Councilperson Koretz. We helped come up with some of the ideas for that motion. And it now is in the city attorney's office where it's being drafted, and we're hoping it will go for final adoption toward the end of September. Everybody keep your fingers crossed. We've been working on it 2.5 years. Also, I'm now the representative to the I-405 widening. I'm going to a meeting tomorrow night. If anybody has any questions or wants anything forwarded to them, I get about 400 notices a day on what they're doing. My email address is easy to remember because I was working on the ordinance. It's bobhillsideordinance@roadrunner.com. So if you have any questions on the 405, I didn't make up an email address for that yet.
Thank you. Okay, Howard, come on up. I'd like to introduce Congressman from the Sherman Oaks area. He previously was the assemblyman from the Sherman Oaks area. And from the research I've done in order to prepare the newsletter, Howard Berman, who is not, you don't see him on television every day, but is considered one of the most powerful congressmen in Washington because he is chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. Foreign Affairs. Wait a minute. I got it. Why didn't you say that before? Say that once again.
It's the House Foreign Affairs Committee. The Senate is the Foreign Relations Committee. They have relations. We have affairs.
Okay, we'll probably be talking about ethics also tonight. Anyways, he is a ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee that oversees laws, especially as they pertain to the entertainment industry, which is so important to our area. So with that, I'd like to introduce your Congressman, Howard Berman, and he's going to make some comments, and then we're going to take questions. And where's Matt? Oh, did anyone ask Matt to come back in? Tara's going to get Matt. Anyways, Matt will be the person collecting questions, or if there's Chuck Betts in the background, he'll take your questions also for Matt. With that, Congressman Howard Berman.
Thank you very much. First, it's good to be back, and it's good to be out of Washington, and I get a few more weeks of this, and I'd like to introduce a few people. First and foremost is my wife and partner in all this activity, Janice Berman, as well as the person who for many years was my chief of staff in Washington, has moved to Los Angeles, not just for the purposes of the census, but has moved to Los Angeles and runs my district office, Gene Smith. I know some of you know her well. And Pearl Ritchie, who's been working with me since 1975. We were both children, and I know many of you know Pearl. And one of our newer staffers is Bethany Brisky. We're back there. So.